Hi everybody, welcome back to Craft with Norma. Right, just to recap where we're at, we've gone and covered the book with the envelope, the manila envelope, and we've gone and stained around the inside and the outside with the stain. So we're now ready for the next section, and the next section is really quite simple, and it's just covering your book with your papers. So on this one, I've just covered the front cover and I've just covered the reverse cover. Let's just take you out a little tiny bit. There we go. And that's all you need to do at this next stage. So that's quite easy and simple to do. So I've already done that. I've got that boxed off. And it's just leaving perhaps a centimetre. Is it? Yeah, a centimetre or 1/4 of an inch all the way round, and then just glue that down. And all we're going to do next is decide where we are going to put the fastener. So with the fastener, I've also gone and covered it with paper. So here's my, just move this to one side. Here's my fastener. If you can remember rightly, it was goes like that. So you've got the front, the back, and the main spine. That's going to fit onto. And I've also just covered the main spine for the time being on both sides, but left these two just covered on the one side, and I'll explain to you the reasons for that in a minute. And then on this one, which is going to be for the thinner inner spine of the book, which is this piece here, I've just gone and used the piece of card that we pre-cut out, and I've covered that in matching paper as well, and that's going to fit into there like so when the book closes. And again, we're just going to put that on one side because we're not going to finish that section off quite yet. So that's where we've got up to now. So the next bit is just a slightly bit complicated. So I'm going to do two different fastenings. So the first fastening is going to be where we fasten this to the front. Hang on a second, it's that one. If we, no, it's not, it's that one. Have the book sort of like that, where we think we're going to want to have the fastener. Now I like to have it sort of just not far off centre, and I normally do this by eye, but if you want to, you can do it by using your ruler. And that's 2.5 inches there, and yeah, 2.5 inches there, and 2.5 inches there, which isn't too bad a guess really. Oops, right, okay. So what I'm going to do with this is just mark just that bit there, and a little tiny mark there. Okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to have this fastening is going to fit there, about centre like so, and this fastening is going to be, when it's onto there, it's going to be on there like so, if that makes sense. So while that's just holding onto there, I'm roughly going to put a mark where the holes are, and hopefully I'll be able to see those when we take that off. Let's just see. I can see two, so I've got one there and I've got one there, and I can't quite see, oh yes, we've got one there, and it looks like we've got one there, but I'll just, if I can move it around I might be able to see it better. Yeah, I think it's there. Okay, so that's going to slot on like so, and then this one is going to slot on like so, like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch the holes ready. So we've got a hole there, we've got a hole there, a hole there, and a hole there, which you probably can't see because of the colouring. So I'm going to use, now if you haven't got one of these, you haven't got one of these, you can just punch it in with your little pokey tool, like so. But luckily I've got one of these, and I'm just going to do the smaller holes, which is the 1/8 hole, where I've marked, like so. That one goes there. That goes there. That goes there. And then we've got that one that fits onto there, like so. Okay. Now, just normal PVA glue doesn't work, and to be honest, I quite like using, as well as using the heavy body gel, if you haven't got any of that, I quite like using the glossy accents, because that is also quite a good strong glue. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that in between there, like that, so it will actually stick down, just like that. And then I'm going to want to plonk that on where the holes are. So I've got a hole there and a hole there. So with my, now where have I put them is the thing. Here they are. Now they do come with screws, but I prefer to use the little brads. Okay, so I've picked up 4 brads, and I'm just going to put that one in there first, like so. Oops, turn it over, like so. Pop it out, and then I'm hopefully going to open it up like that. And you want to be doing this before you put obviously anything on this side. So that's the first one. And then I'm going to come along and do the second one. That's it there, like so. And again, try and open that up and squashing it out, if I can only see what I'm doing. Oops. It's quite hard when the book is as big as it is. There we go. So you've got one there, and I'm going to turn over and do the same in the other ones. Just like that. It goes through, that's it. Go through and push it through. So this is the way to do it when you've actually purchased a sort of lock mechanism. Now I can try and find out where it was I bought it from, because it was from a company called AliExpress, which I'm sure some of you would have heard from before. And I'll try and track it down and put the link at the end of the video. There we go. So we've done that one. So we're quite happy with that. It's quite secure, and we've also got the glue underneath, which will set, which will make it even better. And then what we're going to do is get this and put it there against there, like so. Now I might need to put this underneath there to give it a bit of strength. So I've slid this underneath just so I've got some sort of balance, otherwise you're trying to do it and you're a bit off as such. So that is going to fit on there, just like that. And we're going to make the pencil mark. I've now lost my pencil. Here it is. Like so. Take that off and you can see the 2 pencil marks just there and there. And I'm going to make those holes as well now. And then you'll see the reason why I've not backed this the fold that goes over. So so we can actually close the brads there. Now if you'd have covered it with the paper, it's going to show the brads, and we don't want the brads to show. So we're going to put that on there like that, and that one on there like that. The two brads. Put that one in. Of course, what you can do is put the original screws in if you wanted to, and just turn that round, and then cut them off so they're not sticking into the back, and then put the backing paper on. But I quite like them with the black brads like that, which are quite easy to get hold of from either eBay, Amazon, or your local craft shop, which is probably the better option to support your local shops. So what we can do now is actually stick the paper down. So I've got here a pre-cut piece of paper which should go on there like that. Now what I want to make sure is that if the book's going on like that this is the right way up, and it's not. So that's the right way up. Because what you don't want to do is have that open up and it's upside down. Well, that's my theory anyway. So what we're going to do is get my glue, and this time I am using wet glue because we're going to go over that metal part there. Let's just see if we can come a bit nearer. So to move this out of the way, you don't want all this clutter. So we're just going to run the glue across on the edges like so, and in the middle. And I don't mind getting my fingers sticky. If you do, obviously you can use a brush if you want to, but I don't mind getting my fingers sticky. And during the night I slowly unpeel it. So let's just double check that's going to go there. So that's the right way up. Right, okay. Alright, hold on. That goes on there like that. So that's the way up. That's the way up. Right, okay. Whoops. And we're going to put this on there. Just like so. Okay. There we go. So that's going to fit onto there, like so. And then we're going to turn the book up. Now, I don't need that slidey bit in there, but what I am wanting is this. I've done it wrong. Oh, stop. Okay, I thought I'd done it wrong, but I haven't. I've done it right. It's just me panicking a little bit. So we're going to bring that across to there, like so, and that is going to move across like that because we've got that space that's there. That has got a little mark there where we decided where it was going to go to, like that, and we're going to mark this the same. So we're going to want a line there and a line there where we want this to line up, like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is turn this up. This is so awkward. We're going to turn this up like that, and then we're going to fasten this to the book. But before we do that, I want to do some holes there to brad it down and to glue it down. So what we're going to do is decide how many holes we're going to do, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So just to have them all in line, I'm going to do one here, one here, turn it round, do one here and turn it round, and we want one about there. And again, you can either use your pokey tool, your Bradle, or you can use one of the crocodiles. So I'm going to put one there, one there, move it across, one there, and one to go in there. So we've now got our 4 holes. Probably see that way. Can you see them? Yeah. So we've got our 4 holes now ready to put our brads through. So what we're going to do now is have to mark where those holes are. So I've already marked this part of the thinner spine. So I'm going to place that on there because I know that is the right place. So that goes on there, that goes on there. And then I'm going to get my pencil and I'm going to go through the holes like so and mark it so I can actually see where I need to make my holes for my Bradle. Or you can get your Bradle itself and just make a little hole ready to go through like so. Now it's quite difficult for you to actually see where I've put the holes, I think, but I've got one just there, I've got one just here, one here and one here. So I'm going to punch those out now with the crocodile. I'm not sure what the big one's called, unless it's called the big one, I don't know. Like so. Move it across. And punch down. Okay, so again what we're going to do is put some of the glossy accents or any glue that you think is appropriate. As I say, I quite often use the heavy body gel, but this is just as good, to be honest. Just like so. I just want that to stick down nicely. And we've got our 4 holes and we just need our brads. So I'm going to put that one in first. And again I'm sort of working blind. Oh, let's just get rid of that. I'm making this look so difficult, it's untrue. Because it's not really difficult at all. I'll just do it properly. Right, hang on. I'm trying to do this obviously for the camera rather than to my convenience. So, but I'm sure you're getting the drift of it. So as you can see now, you've got one Bradle in place. And if I get to move that one round, I should be able to get this one through the same hole. Oh, moved, sort of jumped. Oh, stay still. That's it. There we go. Like that. And then the next one we're going to do the same too. Bradles are my little brads are a bit on the short side, but once they actually poke through the cardboard, you can punch them down. There we go, that's better. Like so. So that makes it a little bit softer and they squish in nicely. And then add another one, and we can poke that one through. Oh, 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 there we go. And there we go. So we've now got our fastener complete. So that just fastens like so. So you've got your fastener that goes there, and we're going to be running a key through that to hold it in place. That stays there. That gives us some width to build on, so we don't want it too bulgy and fat. And then we've got our 4 brads in there ready. And then the next thing we're going to do is do the thicker side, and we've also got some paper to put on this thinner side. So we're just going to let that just dry for a moment, and I'm going to show you how to do the other option. So this is an option that you can do if you haven't got one of the posh folders, and this is quite easy to do. Well, I think it's quite easy to do, and all you're going to need for this is a strip of brown craft paper, and we're going to cut it in half. So we're going to cut it in half like so. We're just going to dampen the craft card a little bit, because that just makes it a little bit more flexible, just like so. And then we're going to take a thin brush or a thin pencil or something that's thin and round, and we're just going to gently curve it over the pencil or your brush, just like so, and we're going to roll it up. Let's just get you a bit closer. There you go. So we're just going to roll it up like so into a tight little curly thing, sort of, if so, a bit like that. Now you need to leave a tail on it about 1 inch. Yeah, about 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch. Then you're going to unroll it, and then you're going to run some glue down it, because we're going to stick it, and then we're going to leave it for a little bit to set as such. So once you've done that curve and you've wet it, the fibres on the craft card will then be really easy for you to roll, and that does make a difference. Okay, so we've now rolled it so it looks like that. And then to hold that in place while that sets, we're just going to put in a paper clip, and it's the thin end of the paper clip, the narrower bit, and we just put that in there like that, and that will hold it in place until the glue sets. And we want to do that twice. So these are 2 that I've made earlier, a bit like Blue Peter. Okay, so we've got now 2 of these like that, and what we're going to do with these now is just put some of our distress stain on. And as you're probably aware, I make my own distress stain. If I can open it up, I do. Let's open this one up instead. And we're just going to distress it just a little bit, just give it a bit of stain, give it a bit of age. So we're going to go around the edges like so, just to give it a bit of a stained look as such, just like that. And we're going to just let that dry. And we're going to do the same to the other one. Just like that. Then the next thing that we're going to want to need, put this on one side, the next thing we're going to want to need, now I use an old necklace that I purchased, and the way we're going to do this is to have those 2 like so, just like so. And then we're going to have a key that will run through these, just like that, go through here and go through there, and that is going to be our lock. So these two are going to be attached to there like that, and this bit is going to be attached to the book itself, to the front cover, and then we've got our mechanism then for opening and closing our book. So the next thing to do is, that's the back, that's the front, we're going to take these off and we're going to want to glue these to the edge, but we want enough room for this, when it's on the book, to actually be able to open and close. So that's going to be on the book, and then we've got a space there like that. I don't know whether you can see that properly. So what we're going to do next is just glue this onto there. So we're going to put a little bit of glue. It'll come out there, it is coming. Okay, a little bit of glue. And we also want it to the very end. We want it to make sure that it really sticks to the end like that. And we're going to want it about 1/2 an inch away from the edge there. And we're better with it that way. Just like that. There we go. And then the same on this one. Just like that. Ooh, wrong side. There we go. Just like that. And again, just remembering that you've got that that's going to be approximately halfway between. Let's just get that a bit closer for you. Okay. And then we're going to want that to set. And we want these to be straight. So as you can see, this one at the moment is in a bit too much, so we want that to come out just a fraction. Okay, and that one is okay, that one's moved. So we want that to go through to make sure that the key can go through. Okay, so once I've got it in the right position, I'm going to just use one of my clips. There's a little clip. So we're going to clip that one, and a clip like so. And then we'll get another little clip. Just want that to be right there, like so. Perhaps I'll use this clip, I think. Like that. Okay, so I'm quite happy with those. And that's going to go in there, no hassle, and then the key can go through. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Okay, so we're just going to let that dry for a minute, and I'll come back to you in a sec. Okay, so these have now dried, and all I want to do now is just make a couple of holes where we're going to put a brad in just to give them a little bit more strength. So I've just marked where I want the 2 holes. I'm going to take the clips off because they're now nice and secure. I'm going to slide those in and just punch the holes right the way through the 2 of them, like so. I'm then going to get my brads. Now these originally were silver, and this morning I just coloured them with some of the alcohol inks that I had, because I wanted them to be a different colour towards the ones that I've actually got. So I'm just going to open those out. Now these are quite a heavy duty one, so I have to open that one out and to pop that one in, like so. Hole's just a fraction too. that way, that's it. That's better, like that. Open that out. Oh, come down, come down, come down. Gosh, these are so stiff. That's better. So we've now got the two brads there. We've got those are quite secure, and I'm just going to glue the backing paper onto that bit. Now somewhere I've got one that fits. So that's going to be coming across there. And I just got to make sure that that's the right way up, and I've got an arrow there showing me which is the right way up. So I'm going to fix those onto there like so. And again, I'm not going to use the glue stick, I'm going to use the proper glue, the wet glue. Now my glue of choice for the wet glue is from Sea Whites of Brighton, and to be honest, as a PVA glue it's a really strong glue. It's more like a bookbinding glue. Now the beauty of that is that you can use it as a bookbinding glue, or you can actually use it and water it down and have it like a tissue glue. That's lovely. That goes on there, that goes on there, and then that goes across there like that. And that glue's nice and secure on there, like that. And then when that goes onto the book, you've got that will go through, and then you've got the key that will secure all elements together, just like that. And then that's fixed to the book. Okay. So what we'll do now is just fix it to the book. Now I've already pre-holed, and I've done 5 this time. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ready to go on the back of the book. So we'll just get the book. So this is going to be the front. That's going to be the front. And sorry, that's upside down. That's going to be the front of the book, like so. That's going to fit onto there like that. And we're not going to glue this down quite yet, not until we've got this in the right place. And then what we're going to do, now I've marked it just there. I've got a little tiny mark just there where I want this to be placed between. And that's roughly the halfway mark. And then I'm just going to take my bradawl and make the 5 starter holes for me to put my brads in place. So you should be able to see now the 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 little marks. You perhaps can't see them as well as I can, and I do apologise for that. So again, I'm going to use this to go in and to find those 5 marks that I've made. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one, 5. And again, what I'm going to do is utilise the glossy accents. Now you can also buy glossy accents in a much cheaper version from Amazon, and it's called liquid glass, and it is so much cheaper than using glossy accents. There we go. But this will secure the paper down and the brads down, to be honest. And then we're going to lie that on there, get the brads, and pop the first one through, like so. Turn it over, open those out. And I say these are quite big and chunky and heavyweight, so are quite stiff. So that's one. Okay. up all the little bits on the journey there. The next one, it fits through there. See if I can do a couple at the same time. And that one. Let's hope we can do those two at the same time. There they are. So as I say, I've just coloured these different because they wear a silver and I didn't want a silver chrome look. I wanted it to look more sort of a brass effect, similar to the key that I've got there. And the last two. 1, 2. 1. Oh, go on in you. So and so. There we go. Oh, that one's fell out now. So you do one and then the other one falls out. Just like so. There we go. Brilliant. And then that goes across that way, that folds over there, and then this is where we're going to decide where we're going to put this. Now luckily it fits, you've got a little circle pattern just there, and that is going to fit beautifully inside there, which I'm going to say it was planned, but it wasn't, it was a pure accident, so I don't want to lie. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to just clip this together. I've got a big clip, here we go. I'm just going to clip this together, if I can. That's a particularly good one. So I'll just clip that there for the time being, like that. And I'm going to want that to go on there like that, so the key will go through. So I'm going to put some glossy accents on here for it to glue down, like that. And then what I'm going to do, just to make sure it goes into the right place, I'm going to run the key through. So I'm going to run the key through there, I'm going to run the key through there, right the way down, and then I know exactly where I'm going to be putting that, like that. And then we're going to leave that to dry. And I'll probably put a weight or something on there to hold that in place. So if I slide this underneath there, that will glue nice. And then what we're going to do is have 2 holes here, and we're going to have some chain attached to there, and then we're going to have a bit of a dangly coming down there. So that's an option for you to do. Now if you wanted, if you haven't got one of these, you could always use, again, something like that we've already gone and done, trim off that bit there and place it in, but it's not very sturdy, hence the reason why I'm using that, if I'm honest, because you want it to be sturdy, you want it to be the fact that you can open and close it with ease. Okay, so that's that one. So the next stage I'm going to do is I'm going to do a piece of paper along there to match, along the side there, on that bit, and then if I just click this open I can show you the other key where this fits, like that. So there's another key. Oops, that fits into there like that. Now to be honest, the keys didn't come like that, the keys came with the locking device there, and I've used I've used my Revel to cut that off and to make sure that the key slots through. So that then becomes secure, and again you open that out and that will flip open. So the next bit we're going to do the spines. So we're going to do the big thick spine here, and we're going to do the thin spine. So if you just bear with me while I just clear up my mess, and we'll get to the next stage. Okay, see you in a mo. Okay, so for the next stage, I've gone and put some extra paper on the thin side, and we're now looking at the thick side of the spine. So what I've done here is I've cut some black card, and I've kept it, I've kept it to just over the 8¼ inches by just under just over 3¾ so it's quarter. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/8. So 3 7/8. And what I've done next is squirt it with water, and then I've put it through an embossing folder. Now this is the one I've used. It's a Tim Holtz one, so it's quite deep. And what I'm going to do next is just measure it to go over the spine, just like so. And I want it to literally fold over like so. So it goes over the paper, so you can't see the edge of the paper on both sides, just like so. So once you've sort of moulded that into its place, just put that on one side, just to gently go over it. And what I'm going to do next is glue it onto that thick spine. Now, to make sure that the glue sticks down quite well, I'm going to use some of the red tape. So I'm going to use a piece of red tape down the very, very edge. Whoops. Down the very edge. And this is easier said than done. Done it that side, let's see. Ooh. Like there. And cut that off. Like so. And then cut that one off. Like so. Ooh, gosh, it's very sticky. And then do the same along that edge. Do the same along that edge. Like that. And then where I've got that little tiny bit there, I'm just going to try and trim that off, because I don't want the excess hanging over the edge. Like that. And then I'm going to run a piece right the way down the centre. Just like so. And cut that off as well. Cut that off as well, just there. Like so. Ooh. And then I'm going to run my finger along to make sure that adheres. So that sticks nicely. And then I'm going to run some of my glue over it. Like that. That's how. There we go. As I say, if you can hear pitter patter, it's the fact that I'm looking after my daughter-in-law's dog, and he keeps wandering around the house on my laminate floor. Right, so we're going to then attach that to the thick spine. Just get this red tape off there. Oops, stay. And the same there. And the same there. And then making sure that we've got it the right way up, the letters are the right way up, I'm then going to try and keep it in line with the paper that I've got on each side. And centre, like that. And then rub that in, just like so. There we go. And then what I'm going to do next is I've got some green paint. So as you can see, you stand it like that. You can see it, that's it, like that. I've got some green paint, and it's from a range that Finnabar actually does, and it's quite a nice green paint, which matches, I think, quite well with the paper that I've used on here. You can use any acrylic paints that you've got. So I'm going to sort of like dry brush it really, just to get the idea of the greens, highlighting across the embossed lettering. Now obviously you can use any embossing file that you happen to have. Or you can just leave it plain and perhaps stencil across it as well. So it's just a case of utilising whatever that it is that you've got. So I still want some of the black to come through, as well as the greens, and we're going to go over it when it's dry with some waxes. There we go. Just like so. And it does dry quite quick. Just like that. And we'll just let that dry a little bit. You can go, if you've missed any bits that you want to perhaps catch. But you don't want to do a thick coat of the paint, you just want a dry coat of the paint. So we've sort of got that metallic look, which matches, I think, quite well with the paper that we've used there. And then we're going to, let's have a look what I've got here. So this one is a gilding, metallic gilding polish, and it's a chocolate bronze. So we're going to have a go at this one and see what this one looks like. And again, I like to use my finger. You don't have to use your finger. If you don't want to, you can use a brush, but I've got, I think, more control over it with my finger. So just like that, just go over the edges. Now you will notice that these two are upside down, and that's because my folder is only so big. And then to try and get all the letters in, I've actually gone and turned it the other way around. but that was the only way I could fit everything in. There we go, just like that. And I think that matches quite well with the colours that we've got with the studs, and also with the chevron that we've used in the fastening on this particular one. Okay. And for the time being, that is my cover complete. So we'll just recap. Just put the lid on this so I don't put my elbow in it. So we'll just recap quickly. So the inside we're still left as it is, and we've got the bits popping through there from the brads that we've used. We've covered the brads on this section because we put paper on it. We've gone and attached, on this one we've gone and attached the fastening so the key can actually go through both of those. And pick up the key again. That's the key, there's the key. And that just will slide through there like so. And all we need to do on this bit now is just to put a couple of holes just here and here, and that's where the chain is going to go in, and we can attach the chain to the key. And I'm also going to make a couple of holes here, so we've got some danglies that can come down and through the back spine. And that is that one complete. And what I'll do next is I will finish doing the same with this one. I've already put the paper on there, but I will do the same with the thick spine and a piece of the black card once I've put that through the machine. So that is the outer covers completed. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll watch the next stage where we're going to start on the inside, and I'll show you how to do the faux pen and also to get the book and the envelope journal insert ready for the next stage. So thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I would love you to join us again. And if you do, please remember to press the bell icon, because that will just give you a reminder that I've put a new video out. And for those who have subscribed, thank you so much. It's great to see you. And don't forget to check out my other channel, which is Crafted by Norma. So for the time being, thanks for watching and hope you have a go. Speak to you soon. Bye.